soon to be quietly rising and descending in Ethiopia and Indonesia, gliding smoothly across Korean skies and soaring through LA and New York. It's none other than Midnight, the electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL aircraft being developed by Archer Aviation for urban air mobility, UAM networks, featuring a 12-tilt-6 configuration, allowing efficient takeoffs, landings, and forward flight. Covering short trips of a few dozen miles within minutes while carrying up to 4 passengers and a pilot. Let's check out the commercial paths Archer and Midnight are carving around the world, alongside technical and regulatory progress that's gathered the interest and support of investors and governments, as well as how Archer is planning to scale manufacturing capabilities through a partnership with Stellantis, providing $400 million for production expansion to produce up to 650 eVTOLs annually by 2030. In addition to its efforts to build necessary infrastructure like vertiports and charging systems. As a pioneer in the still-emerging eVTOL and UAM space, Archer is well on its way to fly into the rapidly growing industry expected to reach $1 trillion by 2040. Using an approach with 2 primary business lines, Archer UAM, a direct-to-consumer aerial rideshare service, and Archer Direct, which sells eVTOLs to third-party operators. To bring these 2 business lines online, Archer's Midnight Launch Edition commercialization program is designed to create a pragmatic, repeatable playbook for deploying Midnight to early adopter markets ahead of FAA type certification. The program has been allowing Archer to gain operational experience, generate revenue, and build long-term demand while scaling its UAM operations globally. The first Launch Edition customer was Abu Dhabi Aviation, ADA, which gets the support of a full team of Archer pilots, technicians, and engineers to ensure a safe and efficient operational ramp, as well as training for pilots, flight operations, community engagement, back-end software infrastructure, and a front-end booking application to enable UAM services. The agreement was formalized with a Memorandum of Understanding signed alongside the Abu Dhabi Investment Office, establishing a framework to fund the deployment of the Midnight Launch Edition aircraft. Infrastructure-wise, Archer spearheaded the UAE's first eVTOL-ready hybrid heliport at the Abu Dhabi Cruise Terminal. The project, in collaboration with Falcon Aviation and supported by Air Synapsis. The heliport accommodates both traditional helicopters and Archer's Midnight eVTOL aircraft, featuring charging infrastructure, enhanced landing systems, and upgraded safety protocols. By repurposing an existing facility, the project leverages current airspace regulations, enabling a faster, cost-effective rollout. The General Civil Aviation Authority, GCAA, became the first global aviation regulator to create standards for hybrid infrastructure, ensuring safe integration of eVTOL operations. Strategically located near tourist destinations like the Louvre Abu Dhabi and Saadiyat Island, the heliport aims to serve both urban mobility and tourism markets, supporting over 650,000 annual port visitors. Other infrastructure advancement involves working with Cleveland Clinic for plans to develop the UAE's first hospital-based vertiport, upgrading the hospital's existing helipad to accommodate both traditional helicopters and Midnight. The project will operate under the GCAA's hybrid conversion framework, enabling both types of aircraft to use the same infrastructure, helping to facilitate rapid passenger transport and time-critical organ deliveries, significantly reducing travel times compared with ground transportation. Archer will assist Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi with the necessary upgrades, building on its recent hybrid vertiport approval at Abu Dhabi Cruise Terminal and broader plans to establish a vertiport network across the capital. Brian Bernhard, Archer's Chief Growth and Infrastructure Officer, highlighted that the project demonstrates the company's network vision, connecting critical hubs in Abu Dhabi. Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi, a 405-bed multi-specialty hospital on Al Maria Island, serves as a regional medical destination with 26 operating rooms and multiple specialized institutes. Aircraft-wise, Archer successfully completed the first test flight of Midnight at Al Bateen Executive Airport in Abu Dhabi, advancing plans for commercial air taxi operations in the UAE and the broader Middle East. The flight, conducted under the guidance of the Smart and Autonomous Systems Council, SASC, was observed by senior officials from the UAE GCAA, Abu Dhabi Investment Office, Integrated Transport Center, Abu Dhabi Aviation, and Abu Dhabi Airports, alongside Archer's regional partners. The test focused on evaluating vertical takeoff and landing performance in UAE-specific conditions, including high temperatures, humidity, and dust exposure, providing critical data to support certification and commercialization efforts. Archer plans to expand its regional flight testing program to gather additional operational data for deployment in the UAE and other markets. Over in Indonesia, Archer partnered with Indonesia's PT, Industri Ketahanan Nasional (PT-IKN), to deploy an initial fleet of Midnights under the Launch Edition program. The agreement, valued at up to $18 million for initial operations, includes a potential order of up to 50 aircraft, worth up to $250 million, to support scaling air taxi services nationwide. The partnership aims to establish local operational capabilities, launch commercial air taxi services, and explore complementary use cases such as logistics, environmental monitoring, and support for Indonesia's new capital city, Ibu Kota Nusantara, IKN. Like in Abu Dhabi, Archer will provide a team of pilots, technicians, and engineers, along with back-end operational software and front-end booking applications to power operations. Both companies plan to collaborate closely with the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, to develop regulatory frameworks and improve infrastructure for safe operations. PT-IKN, focused on advancing Indonesia's national resilience through innovation in strategic industries, views the partnership as an opportunity to bring new technologies to the country. Its chairman, Yudiansa Yosal, highlighted the potential for Midnight aircraft to enhance passenger mobility across Indonesia's islands and support environmental oversight. Major General TNI Piek Budiakto Pangdam noted that eVTOLs like Midnight offer both civilian and military applications, including transportation, rescue, medical evacuation, and delivery of goods to hard-to-reach areas. Archer CEO Adam Goldstein noted that demand for the Launch Edition program continues to grow and emphasized Indonesia's strategic opportunity due to its thousands of islands, booming tourism sector, and the development of a new capital city. Another Asian adopter is Korean Air, which is planning to purchase up to 100 Midnight aircraft. The deal makes Korean Air Archer's exclusive partner for introducing eVTOLs in Korea, initially targeting government applications before expanding to broader commercial use. A plan that aligns with South Korea's government priorities, as the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport has identified urban air mobility and eVTOL adoption as national objectives since 2022. Korean Air, South Korea's flag carrier, operates 163 aircraft across 116 cities and maintains aerospace research, manufacturing, and maintenance operations, including support for the U.S. Department of Defense in Asia. On the topic of U.S. aviation, Archer plans to launch an air taxi network in New York City in partnership with United Airlines, aiming to transform regional travel by significantly reducing transit times between Manhattan and nearby airports. Using Midnight, passengers could complete trips in 5 to 15 minutes compared with typical 1 to 2 hour drives, providing a faster, quieter, and more sustainable alternative to ground transportation. Archer plans to leverage existing aviation infrastructure in the region, establishing vertiports at airports and helipads for a network that's intended to complement traditional airline travel, reducing door-to-door travel times and improving the passenger experience. Some of the collaborations constructing this network include infrastructure partners like Atlantic Aviation, Signature Aviation, Skyports Group ADP, as well as Modern Aviation and Air Pegasus, to electrify and optimize aviation assets for the network. Archer has previously announced similar air taxi networks in San Francisco and Los Angeles, positioning New York as a potential first U.S. urban market for air taxis due to existing helicopter infrastructure, regulatory support, and strong passenger demand. United Airlines, through its United Airlines Ventures arm, has been a longtime investor in Archer, having already placed an order for a fleet of Midnight aircraft. Other backing comes from the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and NYCEDC, which have expressed support for integrating eVTOL aircraft into the regional transportation network, emphasizing innovation, safety, and infrastructure development. To expand the role of eVTOL aircraft in U.S. cities even more, Archer carries on the torch as the official air taxi provider for the LA 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games and Team USA, meaning Archer will get athlete-level star status as Midnight transports VIPs and fans to and from electrified vertiports at key Olympic venues. The LA network will feature vertiports at central Olympic venues, including the stadium in Inglewood and the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, as well as major visitor hubs such as LAX, Hollywood, Orange County, and Santa Monica. LA 2028 chairperson Casey Wasserman emphasized the partnership as a way to enhance the Olympic and Paralympic experience. In addition, the agreement gives Archer storytelling opportunities through NBC Universal's coverage of the 2026 and 2028 Games, including high-profile events like the opening and closing ceremonies, providing global visibility for the company and its eVTOL technology. Archer is also the exclusive air taxi partner of the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission, LASAC, positioning the company as an official Los Angeles World Cup 2026 host city supporter and official Super Bowl LXI host committee partner. Under the agreement, Archer CEO Adam Goldstein will join the Champion LA Core Leadership Group, while Chief Marketing Officer Miles Rogers will serve on the LASEC Advisory Board, providing strategic guidance to support LASEC's operations. Goldstein reiterated the opportunity to showcase how Archer's Midnight aircraft can transform urban mobility during high-profile events, creating a lasting legacy for the city. LASEC CEO Catherine Schlossman highlighted that the technology could significantly reduce traffic congestion by replacing car trips with electric air taxi flights. Over in Africa, Archer signed an agreement worth up to $30 million with Ethiopian Airlines, Africa's largest carrier, to deploy Midnight under the Launch Edition program. In fact, Ethiopian Airlines was Archer's second Launch Edition customer. The two companies will work together and with the Ethiopian Civil Aviation Authority to establish an all-electric air taxi network in Ethiopia and explore broader use cases, including ecotourism. Since Ethiopian Airlines operates a global network with over 140 international destinations and is a member of Star Alliance, it provides a strong foundation for these ambitious plans. To extend reach even broader, Archer teamed up with GTEx to integrate Midnight into GTEx's network of 40 private terminals across more than 30 countries, as well as design the passenger experience, deploy charging infrastructure, and incorporate eVTOL operations into daily terminal activity, initially focusing on sites in the United Arab Emirates with plans to expand globally. On the logistics and operations side, Archer, together with Palantir, are working on building the AI foundation for next-generation aviation technologies for aircraft manufacturing and operations. Palantir's Foundry and AIP will be used to scale Archer's production capabilities at its Georgia and Silicon Valley facilities and develop AI-driven software into other areas of aviation, for instance, enhancing air traffic control, movement management, and route planning, with the goal of improving efficiency, safety, affordability, and sustainability. Similarly, on the military side of aviation, Archer Aviation and Anduril are developing VTOL aircraft for defense applications, targeting a potential U.S. Department of Defense program. The collaboration combines Archer's rapid aircraft development using commercial supply chains with Anduril's expertise in artificial intelligence, missionization, and systems integration. Together, the companies aim to accelerate the delivery of advanced hybrid VTOL capabilities at significantly lower costs than traditional defense programs. This effort will operate under Archer's new division, Archer Defense, led by Joseph Pantalone, a former Lockheed Martin and Sikorsky executive with nearly 30 years of military aviation experience. He will work alongside Archer's Defense Advisory Board, established in 2023 and composed of retired senior military leaders. Executives from both companies highlighted the partnership's importance for advancing national defense capabilities. Anduril's SVP of Engineering, Shane Arnott, emphasized that rapid innovation and scalable production are essential to maintaining U.S. technological superiority. Archer CEO Adam Goldstein stated that combining Archer's aerospace development expertise with Anduril's defense and AI capabilities will accelerate the creation and deployment of next-generation aircraft at scale. Across the pond, Archer and Anduril Industries UK are pursuing both civil and defense applications for Midnight in the UK. Anduril UK will lead a consortium that includes Skyport's drone services and Atkins Realis, targeting future flight programs and beyond visual line of sight (BVLOS) operations, enabling rapid, low-emission logistics, cargo transport, and defense capabilities. Anduril will act as lead systems integrator, providing software-defined mission autonomy, communications, and command and control systems tailored to UK operational needs. Archer will supply and adapt the Midnight aircraft platform for dual-use applications, while continuing development of the planned hybrid propulsion eVTOL aircraft. Atkins Realis, recently appointed the Civil Aviation Authority's first approved assessor of commercial drones, will advise on regulatory compliance and safely integrating novel aircraft into UK airspace. Skyport's drone services contributes operational expertise, having executed multiple BVLOS campaigns for clients like the NHS, Royal Mail, and the Royal Navy Heavy Lift Challenge, and will support initial cargo service projects. Building on prior efforts under the Advanced Mobility Ecosystem Consortium and the Future Flight Challenge Phase 3, addressing vehicle operation, airspace navigation, ground charging, passenger journey, and stakeholder engagement. To boost defense development even more, Archer acquired a patent portfolio and key personnel from Overair, a Karam aircraft spin-off specializing in high-efficiency tiltrotors, and purchased composite manufacturing assets along with a 60,000-square-foot facility in Southern California for mission-critical composites, resulting in better in-house manufacturing and rapid prototyping capabilities for defense programs. At the same time, the Huntington Beach facility enables Archer to internalize composite fabrication, supporting accelerated development and iteration of military aircraft. Demand from allied defense programs is growing, complementing Archer's ongoing expansion beyond commercial air taxis. Archer's patent portfolio also grew from the acquisition of Lilium GmbH's portfolio of roughly 300 advanced air mobility patents for approximately $21 million, taking Archer's global patent holdings to over 1,000. The acquired patents relate to innovations in high-voltage systems, battery management, aircraft design, flight controls, electric engines, propellers, and ducted fans, with the ducted fan patents described as potentially being the leading collection worldwide. Archer expects the ducted fan technology to support future developments in light sport and regional air mobility aircraft, aligning with the U.S. Department of Transportation and FAA's July 2025 modernization of special airworthiness certification rules. Moving over to manufacturing, Archer has its 400,000-square-foot facility, called ARC in Covington, Georgia, bringing it closer to large-scale production of Midnight. Working closely with global automaker Stellantis, Archer plans to expand production to 650 aircraft annually by 2030. Stellantis is providing capital, advanced manufacturing expertise, and personnel to accelerate scaling. On top of delivering its first Midnight aircraft to the UAE under its Launch Edition program, with Abu Dhabi Aviation and the Abu Dhabi Investment Office, Archer had 6 Midnights in production by Q2, with 3 in final assembly across its California and Georgia facilities. Simultaneously, testing and technical advancement has seen piloted flight, demonstrating both vertical and conventional takeoff and landing, VTOL and CTOL capabilities, highlighting the robustness of Midnight's landing gear. Midnight also showcased reaching speeds in excess of 125 miles per hour, validating key elements of its design, including flight control responsiveness, stability, and aerodynamic and control models. Chief Test Pilot Jeff Greenwood, a former Bell Textron test pilot and U.S. Marine Corps aviator, stated the ease of handling and consistency with simulator training. He has also contributed to cockpit design and equipment selection, leveraging his extensive test piloting experience. This kind of speed allowed Midnight to complete a 55-mile piloted flight in 31 minutes, which also showed off extended range. During the test, United Airlines CFO Mike Leskinen noted the aircraft's quiet operation, proving just how quiet the low-noise design producing around 45 A-weighted decibels is. 4 test pilots now regularly conduct Midnight flights, reporting consistent performance and predictable handling throughout extended durations. other than tests demonstrating tangible progress with speed, duration, and mission profiles that mirror planned commercial operations. Midnight has also reached new altitudes, specifically 7,000 feet during a recent test flight, marking the highest altitude achieved to date. The flight involved a steady climb, leveling off at altitude. While eVTOL aircraft typically operate between 1,500 and 4,000 feet in urban areas, the higher altitude capability provides flexibility in dense airspace and for cities at higher altitudes, giving more traffic management options. Certification-wise, Archer received its Part 141 certification from the FAA, officially authorizing it to launch its pilot training academy. This certification designates Archer's academy as a formally recognized and regulated flight school, enabling it to train and qualify pilots for its future commercial air taxi operations using its Midnight aircraft. On top of that, Archer already earned its Part 135 Air Carrier and Operator Certificate and its Part 145 Maintenance Certificate. The application process for the fourth and final certification, Part 142, has already started. It will authorize advanced flight simulation training. On a global level, Archer joined U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean P. Duffy and Acting FAA Administrator Chris Rocheleau at the Paris Air Show to announce a 5-country alliance aimed at streamlining the global certification and deployment of eVTOL aircraft. The alliance, led by the United States, includes the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand, and seeks to create a coordinated pathway for eVTOL aircraft like Archer's Midnight to enter international markets once U.S.-type certification is obtained. This announcement builds on recent momentum from President Trump's executive order supporting eVTOL integration, demonstrating the importance of collaboration between regulators and industry leaders. Archer and its peers will work within this framework to accelerate safe certification and operational readiness of eVTOL aircraft across participating countries, potentially enabling faster international adoption of urban air mobility solutions. Earlier, the U.S. government launched a pilot program to accelerate the deployment of electric vertical takeoff and landing taxis, following an executive order by President Trump in June. Administered by the FAA and the Department of Transportation, the eVTOL Integration Pilot Program aims to create pre-certification operating environments for advanced air mobility, allowing companies to begin trial operations before full FAA certification. The program will involve at least 5 projects through public-private partnerships with cities, states, and private companies. Participants may operate piloted, optionally piloted, or unmanned eVTOL aircraft capable of carrying passengers or cargo. Trial operations will include short-range air taxis, longer-range flights, cargo transport, medical or emergency services, and support for offshore energy operations. The initiative is designed to provide operational data, community engagement, and safety insights to scale air taxi operations nationwide. Archer announced plans to participate in the program, alongside U.S. airlines and municipalities. The company intends to test its Midnight aircraft with partners such as United Airlines, focusing on demonstrating safe, quiet, and scalable operations. FAA Administrator Brian Bedford stated that lessons learned from the pilot projects will guide the safe and scalable integration of eVTOLs into the national airspace. The initiative builds on FAA rules finalized in October 2024, covering pilot training and certification for air taxis, and aims to help companies like Archer meet growing demand for faster, more sustainable urban transportation while navigating regulatory hurdles. Early trial operations could begin as soon as next year, marking the first federal program specifically focused on advancing real-world air taxi services in the United States. Following President Trump's executive order to accelerate the deployment of electric air taxis, Archer raised $850 million in funding, bolstering an earlier $300 million funding round led by institutional investors, including BlackRock. As a result, Archer's liquidity position swelled to approximately $2 billion. The funds will support general corporate purposes, focusing on expanding commercial capabilities, infrastructure for domestic and launch edition markets, and developing an AI-based aviation software platform. CEO Adam Goldstein called the executive order a seminal moment for Archer and the eVTOL industry, emphasizing that the company now has the resources to execute both U.S. and international initiatives. The $850 million was raised through a registered direct offering of 85 million shares at $10 per share. While the stock initially fell 15% on the announcement due to dilution concerns, Archer views the funding as a strategic boost to execute its engineering, certification, and commercialization efforts, the results of which we'll most definitely keep up to date with. So, for more on stocks and crypto, follow Ascencore. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.